Hello everyone, how it's going? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we will talk about numbers. But before watching, make sure that you have Python installed in your machine. If you don't know how to do that, you can check my previous video about Python installation and then come back to this one. So I will do all the code examples for now in the just in the interactive prompt in the terminal, so you could just use terminal or command line, and we will do all the examples using Python 3. So today we will learn what is integers and what is float. So both are numbers, of course, and integer is the whole number, positive or negative, and float is the number with the fractional part. So let's just open the interactive prompt by just typing Python in your terminal. And in Python, there is the function called type, which give us a possibility to check what type, what class each object are. So let's just check. So if we will check type for 1, we will get the result that it's an integer because it's the whole number. But if we will check the type for 1.0, we will get the result that it's float. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative, it will still be float, and the previous one it still be an integer. Let's review the operations that you can do on both integers and floats. Most of them are the typical arithmetic operations. So the first one is addition. So you could just add two numbers by just using plus sign. So here is the result. Pretty easy. If you would add integer and float, for example, you will get the result in float. And the reason is because in Python, mixed type numeric expressions first converts operands up to the type of the most complicated operand, in our case it's a float, and then performs the mass on the same time operand. So to explain on this example, it changed 1 to float, so to 1.0, and then adding 1.5 and return the result in float. Uh, so the next one would be subtraction. So also pretty straightforward, just using minus sign, and you get the result of the subtraction. It would work also the same if you would subtract floats, or one of them will be float, the result will be as a float. Next one is multiplication. So to do multiplication, we need to use this sign, and we will get the result. For the division, there is the two ways to do the division in Python. So the first one is the true division, and the next one is the floor division. So true division, always keeping reminders in floating points, not depending on type. So for example, let's just do it like that. So to do the division, we can just need to use the division sign, and here is the result. But if we will use floor division, we need to use two division signs. We will get the result just in the whole number. If we will use, for example, float, we will also get the result in the whole number in 4. But if we will do it for the true division, the result will be 4.92. So this is the difference between them. So depending on your needs, whether you need just a whole number, you will use floor division. If you would need a specific number, like you would use true division. The next thing that we can do is to exponent. So to do that, we need to do it like that. So here is the result, because 2 exponent to 3 would be 8. And one last thing operation you can do is to check the remaining after the division. So for example, if we will divide, if we want divide 24 to 5, the remaining that we will have would be 4, because we would divide 20 to 5, it would be the whole number, and the remaining will be 4. You see the result. So the next thing we will discuss is how the order of the operations, how it's done. So it's the same as arithmetic rules. So like multiplication or division go first to the addition or subtraction. So for example, if we will add it like that. So we firstly will multiply 4 to 2 and then add 3 and get our result. But there is also a way to use a parenthesis. So if we will use parenthesis here, so it would firstly do what is in parenthesis and then everything else. So the result would be different. Next thing that what you can do, you can use a built-in functions with the numbers. So there is several built-in functions that I will show you. So the first one is to get absolute number. It's the built-in function called IBS. And for example, if we will use IBS minus 1, we will get 1, because absolute number from minus 1 will be 1. The next one is round. So you could round your float to an integer, for example. So let's just do that. Like this number. If we will round, we will get 5. But also you can use this function in a different way. You could just add for how many numbers after the dot you would like to round. So for example, I want just to have 1 and the result will be 4.7. But if I would like to have 2, the result will be 4.66. Then the next one is power. So you could use power and for example 2 in 3, and we know that it would be 8 as we did it before. So this is the built-in functions that you could use with Python. Also, you can compare the numbers. You use a comparisons and get the results in true and false. So for example, we can compare whether 1 is less than 2. And it's true because obviously that 1 is less 2. But if we will check if 1 is less than 1, we will get false. But we can check whether 1 is less and equal 1. So we will get true, because 1 equals to true. Also, there is a way to specifically check whether it's just equal. So we need to use two signs, two equal signs, and just check, and the result is true. And we can check whether it's not equal, specifically not equal. And for us it would be, not equal. And for us it would be false, because 1 is equal 1, but if we will change it to 2, we will get true, because 1 is not equal to 2. Then you also can compare 3 numbers at the same time. So to do that, we can check whether 1 is less than 5 and at the same time 5 less than 6. And we will get true. It's the same if we would write 1 less than 5 and 5 less than 6. And you see that this way is more convenient and shorter and easier. So this is all that we need to know about the numbers. We learned the operations, we learned the built-in functions and comparisons. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave your reactions, whether it's in the comments or just leave it a like. Also, please subscribe to my channel so you would follow the next videos and next tutorials. Thank you, and remember, knowledge is our superpower.